The last couple of days have been glorious here, not just because we've got stunning mountains, but because the rivers are starting to be full again. And this morning I wanted to share with you a little bit of an insight, I suppose, into Wednesday's masterclass, because on Wednesday evening I'm going to be sharing a little bit about the mystery of the water element, and particularly how we can use yoga and meditation and our intention to really start to feel into what are some of the amazing properties of water. And as you can see behind me, I've just put out, this is what I use every single day. I've got a beautiful decanter, which you would normally put wine or alcohol in, and I put in beautiful water, and actually ionized or structurized water if I can. And it's because I want to make it beautiful. Because what I found a few years ago was that I wasn't drinking enough water. And literally I'd drink tea, I'd drink coffee, I'd have, whatever different drinks, sometimes fizzy drinks or whatever. But I found that I wasn't drinking enough of water. And so what I decided to do was to make drinking water a ritual. And in order to do that, I was like, oh, how can I make it really beautiful? And so I actually went onto Amazon or onto an online shopping, and I was literally trying to find something that would make me really want to drink water. And I tried lots of different things. I tried a glass bottle that I carried around with me. I tried a beautiful copper vessel as well at one point, and I just couldn't quite find it. And then eventually what I found was a simple decanter like this, and with a beautiful glass. And that then means that when I drink my water, I really enjoy it. But there's also something else really precious about water, and that is that you can imbibe it. Now, how many of you have heard about the work of Dr. Emoto? Because he did the most incredible research into how to put intention into water. And what he did was scientific experiments whereby they took water, they projected different thoughts and emotions, and they found that and also different exposure to different substances as well. Now, substances had a little bit of an effect on the structure of water, but the most powerful effect was through human emotion. And how they measured it was they took the water after it had been subjected to either the subject matter or to the emotions, and then literally immediately froze it into cryogenics. And then sliced it and had a look at the crystals that were formed in the ice underneath the microscope. And it's been a constant source of inspiration over many years when I've had a look at some of that water, because what is it that we put into our bodies? We've always had this, more recently particularly, this thing about the foods that we eat, making sure that we have organic foods that haven't been exposed to pesticides and so on. And in the same way, where has our water been exposed to? Because as you know, in many of the cities, it's a closed loop system whereby water goes through us, out through the drains, into the sewage, gets completely filtrated with chemicals and so on, and then literally goes back into the water supply. And so you are literally drinking water that has gone through, I can't remember how many people it's gone through now, but it's some ridiculous number. And it's quite extraordinary when you think about it, because it's said that water holds memory. So the chemical composition is still the same. It's still H2O. And that doesn't change. But the structure of the molecules does change. The structure of water changes. And that's why snowflakes are always different. Now, I was having a look the other day. I had a look on my bookshelf, and this is a book from about 20 years ago, the Healing Energies of Water. And you know when your books sit on your bookshelf and you're like, you fling them off and you put them into the second-hand shop. But this one for me has always just stayed on the bookshelf, even though I haven't really dipped into it. And I have no idea where it came from. Now, I do apologise. If I borrowed this book from you many, many years ago and haven't returned it, it's sitting on my bookshelf and I love it. So please, you can get in touch if you want it back. And I know that it's somebody else's because Shock and Horror, they've actually defaced it by, let me see if I can find you a page here. by writing in red writing. Now, I think you might be mirrored here, but somebody's been through this book, they've highlighted things, they've written things in the margins, and it's actually a really nice thing just to see what other people have done as well. But what I wanted to show you today was this incredible snowflake. Now, as we know, snowflakes are said to be different, and they're absolutely exquisite in their form. But what I was amazed about when I was reading about this the other day was that you will never find two identical snowflakes. You can spend your life trying. But if you melt a snowflake and then refreeze it under the same conditions, it will refreeze into exactly the same pattern. Not a similar arrangement, but precisely the same arrangement. It remembers its previous arrangement and goes right back to it. I thought that was absolutely amazing. That snowflake, we can melt it down, refreeze it, and it will reappear in that same formation, even though every single snowflake is completely different. You would expect it just to change its form into another snowflake, but no. Because of the memory of water. Now, scientists are completely baffled by water. We have no idea why it exists and why it can exist in water, in liquid form, a solid form as ice, and a gaseous form as well, all at the same time. It's a complete baffling mystery in the whole of why we exist on this planet is because of water. And yet scientists are like, but it doesn't obey the rules of liquids. It's completely confusing. And so what I wanted to show you this morning was a little bit of that mystery of how water can actually be such a strange and incredible, awe-inspiring part of our lives, because without it we would literally not exist. The earth in its current form, with its life forms, could not exist without water. We would not have evolved into literally anything without water. And so what I wanted to suggest to you this week, over the next few days, and particularly if you're coming to join me on Wednesday, is to see if you can pay attention to the water that you're drinking. And not just to gulp it down, not just to have tea, but maybe just to have warm water, maybe with a little bit of lemon juice or a little bit of herbal tea if you need it, but just to feel the preciousness of water. And also, if you can, just hold that water before you drink it. And literally send your positive love and vibration into that water. May it nourish me, may it heal me, may it fill me with energy, because when you project those kind of beautiful emotions into the water, that is literally what you imbibe into your body and then into your cells, and it will affect you. When you have food, we know it, when you have like food that's not healthy for you, you feel a little bit maybe lethargic, or you have an allergy reaction, or you feel tired, and it doesn't nourish you. In the same way, your water can actually be something that sustains you and nourishes you. Now, if you know mantras, you can also place mantra into your water as well. But otherwise, just a really beautiful, positive intention. May this water nourish me and heal me today. And what I've done, and you'll probably notice it, I actually had made a little tag onto my decanter, and you can get them made really, really easily. And I've had inscribed on there, etched into that metal, one of my favourite mantras. And that mantra then I allow to settle into that water, into that space. And I create a space, sacred space, like it sits on this beautiful mirror in the sunlight. Before I drink my water. And as I said, it has become a little bit of a ritual of how to enjoy water and make it a really sacred presence in your life. So on Wednesday, I'm going to be talking a lot more about water, but also sharing some practical yoga movements. Christiana will be joining me as well. So do come along on Wednesday to find out just a little bit more about how water can really nourish your life in a powerful way. So thank you for joining me this morning. I know that I've been talking a lot, but I hope that this has really inspired you to take on a little bit of a practice over the next few days. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye for now.